Stefan
and Matt. We're an interracial couple with 2 kids wanting to do something that highlights the power of friendship and what it means to be in the company of true friends. We're going to move our society away and out of the loneliness epidemic and into a friendlier, happier world. Welcome to our friendly world. Better, stronger, together.
Okay, you guys, so we were talking about the Book of the Five Rings. Book of the Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi Miyamoto.
Yes, exactly.
I always get that wrong. Okay, so these are the 9 rules. And so this is a major warrior. Forgive me, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. Major warrior, samurai.
Let's call him the samurai.
He's the samurai. And so he had 9 rules of the way.
Right.
Correct.
That he felt would help guide you down the path. Yes.
So these were his 9 rules, and this is what we're going to discuss. And we took intuition out of one of these rules, 2 of these rules, right? So rule number 1, do not think dishonestly. Rule 2, the way is in training. And we've gone over this on our previous episodes, guys. It's just a reflection. Number 3, become acquainted with every art. Rule 4, know the ways of all professions. Rule 5, distinguish between gain and loss in worldly matters.
And the one we focused on today?
Intuition.
Well, no, that's the next rule. I was hoping you would go into the next rule.
Number 6. All right, calm down. Number 6, develop intuitive judgment and understanding for everything. I'm going to repeat that. Develop intuitive judgment and understanding for everything. Number 7, perceive those things which cannot be seen. That's a big one. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Number 7, perceive those things which cannot be seen. Number 8, pay attention even to trifles. It's the little things that give you the most information.
It certainly can be.
It's definitely things that people ignore.
Let's not focus.
All right. Number 9, do nothing which is of no use. And we were doing shows on every single rule. And so
I was just idly questioning, which one do you think is the least important? Which is kind of a fun question to ask because that's certainly one I struggle with.
I would say number 9. I'm sorry, Maya. What do you think?
Just looking at them, it's so hard to decide, but I would say number 9.
Yay, me too.
It's interesting.
Okay. So I think that to me, things that are of no use are like watching mindless TV or just kind of lollygagging. But sometimes you just need to do that. I think.
Oh my God, the TV has saved my life.
But here's where it gets fun.
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm so sorry. Hold your thought. I totally interrupted Maya. Maya, what did you just say?
Doing things that are of no use sometimes are how you just veg out. If your brain is always on all the time, how are you ever supposed to relax and just chill out?
Maya.
So that's what number 9 is to me.
I love you. You are my sister. Thank you. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, Matt has a look on his face.
I have spent...
What is that look upon your face?
I discovered these rules when I was probably 15, 16, which is a great time to discover them. And I've dissected every single one. Over the course of, it feels like years. And I find that there's an interweaving. And so when we start plucking at this one, you're right. On the surface level, I would 100% agree that seems like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But between 1, 2, and 9, do not think dishonestly. The way is in training and do nothing which is of no use. There was actually a point in time where, owing to the intricacies of the time, Musashi found himself at the house of the leading courtesan or prostitute in all of Edo, which is, I think, Tokyo now. And he was sitting there very stiffly, and there was the house of Yoshioka outside, and it's a whole story. I mean, this thing is big, but there was basically 50 men outside looking for his blood because he had slain blah, 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 blah. Anyways, and she said, "You are too rigid. You need to loosen up." And he was like, "What?" And then she took a lute that she had made. It's a stringed instrument, and she cut it open, and she showed him that the way that this instrument is able to make all the sounds is not because there are straight lines, but because there is a curved form inside. You have to give yourself over to relaxing and pleasure and everything else that is of use. And Musashi was considered a great painter as well as a great swordsman.
Is that why so many great martial artists are into tea ceremonies?
And the tea ceremony is
calligraphy.
is very rigid, and calligraphy. Yes, absolutely. It's because Musashi studied these things as well. He had a great friendship with a tea master in Japan. So
is that why Jackie Chan is into collecting teacups?
I don't know what's going on with Jackie Chan. He's Chinese, not Japanese, so careful.
Look, I didn't say he was Japanese.
Careful.
I'm just talking about tea. Relax, everybody.
Well, I always say that everybody should have at least one hobby. They should feel no need to defend
And I was also thinking martial arts, okay? I love Jackie Chan.
You know, I agree with you 100% where you're like, it's important to veg out to TV. I totally get it.
Thank you.
But that is of use.
Yes.
That is.
I always thought so.
And the trick is the way is in training makes a person feel like they always have to be studying. And there are points in time where it's important to rest and recharge. I mean, your body basically tells you a third of your life you need to be recharging, at least, because you have to sleep.
And teenagers need a lot of sleep. A lot of food and a lot of sleep.
Now, and then the trick is, and now how it ties into do not think dishonestly, which is the kind of the third one where the points of intersection are very interesting, is don't lie to yourself. I'm vegging out to recharge, to have fun, and that is indeed part of my training or part of my life or part of my, because, you know, the way is in your life really is how I perceive number two as well. So these things are very intricate, subtle, so many levels. And honestly, the least important of them is all of them, because all of them in my mind are equally important.
Of course.
Ooh.
See, no fair.
Because if you focus too much on one, it can become the worst. If you're doing nothing, if you're doing everything of no use all of the time, and that becomes your life,
Right.
Of course, that's going to be the worst one. But if you're focusing on number two all of the time, then your greatest success could also be your greatest downfall.
Right. Yeah. If you're always training, then at some point you become the willow tree and the wind comes and you break.
You guys, bravo.
But that's just it. I mean, this man was absurd as far as how connected, how his philosophy, I mean, they study this, Japanese businessmen study this, so therefore American businessmen study this to try and get a sense of the Japanese mindset, whatever that means. You know, there's a reason why this guy is so highly regarded.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It thrashes Eastern philosophy to the Western mind. It thrashes us, and it's just what it is. There's a Zen story where a man walks into a butcher shop, and he says, "I want your best cut of meat." And the man says, "All my cuts are best." Well, what do you do with that? Well, it also means all my cuts are worst because, you know, there you are. So it depends on, you know, what you put into it. But anyways.
Meanwhile, we are vegan.
It feels like way too deep to get into at the end of a podcast recording. So I was just curious. I like throwing out these really, really weird random questions like that.
I love it.
No, I like them. Forces me to think.
Well, this is conversation right here, right?
Right.
Whatever blows in the wind that comes towards us, the genius that's whispering. This is the art of connection.
But anyways.
All right. Okay. So, here we go.